What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twist Life and TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Black Lightning. This is season 4, episode 10, the Book of Reconstruction, I believe it's called. Last week was the Book of Ruin. We picking up right where we left off last week. Black Lightning is fighting Ishmael and getting his butt whooped. Like he's being flung around like he's a wet noodle all over the doggone place. For some reason, Ishmael has powers. Why does Ishmael have power and the rest of Freeland don't? Lightning was getting his butt whooped. And I kept thinking, you've been Black Lightning almost all your life, since you was like 12 years old. And you ain't learned how to fight better than this? He was just beating you like a little rag doll. What is going on? Like I said, I know he still got powers, but he was just fighting. Y'all was just doing basic martial art skills. He hadn't pulled out his knives or nothing. Well, Shakur and the rest of the cops show up. They got their DEGs ready on standby, ready to go blast, boom, boom, boom. They shoot at Ishmael because right at this point, Gambi has turned on the stealth mode for Black, right? So Ishmael don't know where he at, but he still ain't beating him up for real, for real. He still ain't beating him up for real, for real. You can't even see, he can't even see where you at, and you can't whoop his tail more than that. What is going on? Anyway, he in stealth mode. The police show up. They all shoot at Ishmael. Ishmael able to create a shield, block the DEGs. Now, where you get that from? How you can block the DEGs? Where you get that from? Okay, that must have been what Tobias was working on with Bates, remember? Okay, so in the meantime, all of a sudden Ishmael started getting punched. Now the police can't see nobody but Ishmael. It looked like he's having a conniption fit, right? But they don't continue to shoot. He gets down on the ground. All of a sudden, the stealth mode gets a little shaky, gets a little fuzzy. So you see an image of Black Lightning there. Black tells Shakur, y'all need to go somewhere. Go on get down. The other police like, he down on the ground now, let's take him out. Shakur like, no, if Black Lightning telling us to go, then we need to go because maybe there's something else that we don't know. Y'all don't know nothing. That's what y'all don't know. Nothing. This is stupid, right? Okay, so Jen, she was steady falling from the sky for the third freaking time. Falling from the sky, and all of a sudden, an air bubble pop up around her. Now, again, this makes no sense. Gambi said he built in that particular element into their suit after Jefferson went up into the ionosphere last time, and they wanted to make sure he was protected. Now, when Jefferson came back down, he came down with no problem. He waited for to hit the ground. He came down fast, but he still was able to stop himself before he hit the ground. But he created this bubble this time, so that way they won't hurt themselves if they happen to go back up in the ionosphere again, which none of them was supposed to be doing. Why does that work on a suit? Nothing else works. Why does that one particular element work on a suit? Oh, did Gambi remotely turn it on too? Jen wasn't even supposed to be in the ionosphere. So I guess I missed that part if he turned it on too, right? So Jennifer's fine. She's fine. She didn't die again. Well, Anissa, remember Darius had told her he had found something about the pregnant women that was coming there for I forgot what the condition was. Cystic fibrosis, whatever. Coming in there getting their cystic fibrosis removed with their pregnancy. I just thought it was weird. Why all the pregnant women got cystic fibrosis? It made me sense. Okay, anywho. So he had some information. So Anissa going by to get this information because Darius seemed kind of terrified that he had it, right? Well, she get there. He dead. And now Anissa got to fight. Her and Grace got to fight. They bust whooped. They getting hurt. They power's gone too. No, they outside the building now, like what's really going on? And a car tries to run them over. Of course, Anissa tried to breathe and block it, but that didn't work. So Grace had to run and shove her ass out the middle of the doggone street. Now you up here breathing, you see your power internal, you still gonna stay in there? So Grace had to save her, but now they both hurt and broken. But they still decided to go on up into this apartment. Now it's been gunshots and everything popping off around here. The police on their way, you assume, they decided to go in this apartment anyway and turn it up to figure out what the heck is going on. Darius started laying there with 3 bullets to the chest. And they end up finding the jump drive that he said he had underneath his little dog that he had stuffed or whatever. So they gonna try to get the jump drive to TC to see if he can find out what information is on there. Well, when Shakur went back to the police station, that's when he found out that Lynn had been arrested. So he hit Black up and like, hey, you need to get down here, Lynn, in jail. Why was the feds holding Lynn at the county jail, though? I didn't understand. The feds picked her up. Why was she being held at the county jail? Well, apparently, Tobias, his crew got some type of bracelets or some type of bands that prevents the emitter from subduing their powers, which explains why Cue Ball still had his. But I was like, Ishmael not working for Tobias? And Tobias not wearing the bracelet, why do they both still have their powers? Make it make sense, because it ain't making none to me right now. And how is this working all over Freeland? Duh, I just said it, the freaking emitter, right? The emitter is supposed to emit power, but they emitting it from Tobias's house. What other power source is it hooked up to broadcast this particular signal all over Freeland? How big is Freeland? 2 miles? Like, what the heck? Okay. Anywho, I meant to ask in the last video, why does nobody know who Tobias is? Tobias has been there almost all his life. You know, he used to be Lady Eve's #1. He was in charge of the 100 gang. I'm saying, he done died 3 times over his doggone self. Because nobody there knows who Tobias is. He running for mayor and they like, oh, this new millionaire just came in town and taking over. Yippee-ki-yay. Why don't nobody know who he is? Make it make sense, okay? Lynn's bail sets at $3 million. She had 14 counts of whatever. Or 14 counts on each charge, something like that. She was supposed to be in jail forever, ever. So she calls in this lawyer named Keith. I was like, oh, he an old boo. You could tell he's an old boo. Just to know, Black came in. He was like, oh, so you're an old friend from high school? He's like, yeah, you know, I got her. She good, so good. So TC, since he don't have no powers either, he calls up Khalil's crew and getting them to break in the drive for him. Like, you know, because he didn't get his powers, so he can't crack the code. Meanwhile, Khalil is trying to obtain a thumb drive of his own. So he gets into this room, you know, and all of a sudden security come through. Luckily, in Archaic Valley. Why are they in Archaic Valley? Are they in Archaic Valley? Because, if he was in Archaic Valley, I can understand why Khalil still had powers. But if he had made his way over to Freeland, because I thought he was going through one of Tobias's safe houses to get this money and to get this information he needed. If he is in Freeland, then he shouldn't have no powers. He should be rendered useless as well. Anyway, he turns himself into Painkiller to fight for his life. You know, it's always a good little martial arts scene with Painkiller and all the people. I cracked up though when Mr. Smith busted through that wall, you know, the one from the Matrix. Just to fight him, he came through, fixed his jacket, unbuttoned it, fixed his hair, checked his makeup, all that stuff, just to get his butt kicked by one venomous shot. Stung him like a bee and knocked him on out. So Khalil took the little thumb drive that was in there and all the stacks of money. And I'm guessing the stacks of money was to help pay for Lynn's defense. You know what I'm saying? $3 million. Now, Jefferson, they already said you embezzled money from the school. Your whole life has been destroyed by embezzling money. And somehow y'all was able to come up with a $3 million bail and the government ain't questioning that. Because even if you only got to pay 10% of that, that's still a lot of doggone money that you ain't supposed to have. Another good point was made last video. Why all of a sudden is Khalil a grown man? He a grown man, he rich. Now I know in his Painkiller episode they explained how he got the money. I don't remember what it was, but I remember they explained how he got the money. But him and Jen supposed to be the same age. They supposed to be 17 together. You know what I'm saying? This their last year of high school, supposedly. But he's a grown man. And he got, you know, bossing up over Filky and the medicine man. How, Sway? Where the medicine man been to? He ain't been there the past 2 episodes, but they keep showing Filky. Anywho, Tobias. He apparently is the one who is over stealing meta genes from these pregnant women. God know what for. He wanted to use these meta genes. He even stole Lala from old girl who's in charge of the Cobra Cartel. Then he took the damn cartel for her and gonna charge her for it. And apparently he took Ishmael too, which explains why Ishmael still had powers, because Tobias is arming all his people with the blocker to block the emitter. But she had that look on her face like, baby, this ain't over. This ain't over. She strutted out of there. She was looking good. Her outfit, everything. She was looking good. Strutted on out of there with a look on her face like, yeah, I'll be back. And I could have sworn Lady Eve had like surrounded herself with metas, even though I know she not a meta. But yeah, she sure looked like this ain't over. This ain't over. Just in case y'all didn't know, Black Lightning is over in 3 more episodes. We only got 3 left, y'all. And I don't even know if I can make it because they done pissed me off so bad. I don't even know. So, Gambia, his bae. I said Gambi bae. I forgot what her name was. Janet, Lorraine, something like that. The chick, you know. Technology bae. She shows up, touting a little gun. You know, how dare you use me? Any of those memories that you said that we shared together, they probably wasn't real. You really didn't feel it. You know, she found out that he was spying on her. And she also thinks that he stole the emitter. He's like, what the hell you talking about? Okay, I was spying. I can explain to you later. I can't explain to you right now, but I know you don't want to kill me or you already did what it did. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't take your emitter. You know, I'll find out who did it for you, though. I'll find out who did it. So, Khalil, he finds out who's all on Tobias's payroll. That's who he kept on his thumb drive. Why would you keep that on the thumb drive? And you know, it's Ishmael, Cue Ball, is it Maya, Ava, the Asian chick, you know, the nebulizer, neutralizer, and then 2 more faces that we haven't seen yet that I can remember. And it's one who's getting paid like 20 G's a month. I don't know what her name was. I should have looked at it on the screen, but I didn't. So Khalil and them must be going to find her and buy her, because apparently all these people just work for money. They don't give a damn about Tobias. Well, she's trying to hang low. Jennifer's hanging over at Anissa house. She gets the bright idea to electrify herself. She says since she's a conductor, it would make sense that she should be able to start herself like a car. And if it don't work, Anissa should be able to get her back alive. She the doggone doctor, you know what I'm saying? And I asked a question last episode in my little quick thoughts about why was Lynn getting arrested and Anissa didn't know, you know, that she worked with. I forgot that Lynn went to go work at Tobias's own personal lab to try ALS, to try to develop the ALS, you know, cure or what have you. So Anissa back at the house and she's like, she'll try to help her get alive. Well, Jennifer electrocuted her doggone self, killed the power in the house. I'm trying to figure out how that happened. She had a frayed wire from the toaster. I didn't think the toaster was plugged to the wall. She stuck that in the water. Went out, bam. All the power went out as well. Then all of a sudden, everything came back on, including Jen. And Jen got a little firecrackle in her fingers, right? Well, Anissa was trying to call 911, but the fucking house didn't have no power generator kicked in or nothing like that. I thought them smart houses supposed to have power generator. Well, like I said, all of a sudden the power came back on, so did Jen. And then she, you know, jumps up and everything. I swear that they got an actor, even though she does not look anything like China McClain, she can do her facial expressions and her voice can sound like her at certain times. So anyway, she's juiced back up, so she wants to go back up into the ionosphere to get fueled up for real. You know what I'm saying? It's common sense. Well, it's common sense that you don't go back up there, because the last 2 times you damn near died, and so did your daddy. You know what I'm saying? She was like, well, I'm not 100% right now, so I won't overload. What have you? You know, it wasn't nothing this could do to stop her. So Tobias, he gets home. There's this little Pandora's box sitting on the table. He opened it up and he gets transported to this like virtual conference and everything right now. And guess who it's with? The board. The board ain't been around since season 1. Remember when Lady Eve and the ASA dude, they was all part of the board, and Tobias wanted a seat at the table. All this time, all these 4 seasons, everything treacherous that he has done, all this revenge he's trying to get against Black Lightning, is all to get a seat on this freaking fracking board that he don't even like the members. You trying to get control of everything, trying to become the mayor of Freeland, trying to take control of all the gangs, trying to take control of all the matters, just to go do dirty work for the board, instead of having the fucking board work for you. You the almighty, all powerful. I cannot stand Tobias. Oh my goodness. Oh, how dumb. How dumb. So Jennifer, she goes, shoots her little tail up there into the ionosphere, and again she can't control it. She started to break up, started disintegrating everything, but at least TC was on the control again because Anissa had to warn him. So he helped guide her butt back down to slow down because she couldn't slow down. He helped her out and got her back to the earth safely, right? But when she got back to earth, it looked like a part of her was still left behind. Look up into the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's part of Jennifer's brain. Little ionic stuff, energies, atoms and molecules just floating around in the space glowing. They up there. She back, but ain't all of her back. She left a little common sense on Earth when she went back up there. Now she done left something up there coming back to Earth. Ain't no telling what it is, y'all. Ain't no telling what it is. That's how the episode ended. If I missed anything that y'all think y'all wanted me to talk about, drop it down in the comment section. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. This has been Black Lightning Season 4, Episode 10, I believe. Talk to you again soon. See you in the next video. Peace.